Lunchtime arrives and I can just barely recollect what I was taught. What subject even was it? Ah, that's not important right now. At least now I have the time to collect my thoughts and get a grip on the situation. We're going to go get lunch, Kenta. Do you want to come with us, or...? Having hopped out of her seat, Sayaka skips to the front of my desk and peers down at me with a grin. I blink. It takes me a good second to register that anything has been said to me. Huh? Oh. You guys go ahead. I just have a bit of a headache. Sayaka offers a sympathetic look when I mention the headache. Kenta, about the headaches. They're... No. Hikari pops up out of nowhere and stifles Sayaka with a hand to her mouth before she begins dragging her out of class. Come on, Sayaka. You doesn't need to know any of that, and the queues are going to get too big if we stand around. Sayaka's muffled cries of distress are the last thing I hear before the pair vanish into the corridor. Huh. Wait. Headaches? Does that mean she knows I've been having them frequently? And more than likely, knows the cause of them? If they know anything about that will enlighten me on this bizarre series of recent events, then I really have to chase them up on it. I can't let something as important as this be slipped under the rug like everything else that they've tried to keep from me. I rise up from my desk with a wobble, my leg's not quite all there. It should be at the cafeteria, right? I start for the corridor myself, but someone catches my eye amongst the waves of students going by. Silver hair and amber eyes, a female student marches along with a blank expression. My head rings. Where have I seen her before? Wait, is she really? There's no doubt about it. She's a dark angel that's been making our lives a living hell. Yet she seems like a completely different person right now. Gone is any trace of madness. All I see right now is an emotionless schoolgirl. Yuzuki. Her name falls out of my mouth the moment I come to the realization. Has she always been at this school? How did I not notice something as obvious as this before? Our eyes lock across the crowds. I fear something terrible is going to happen as dread sets in. But her gaze quickly flickers away before she carries on about her business. Huh? She was so intent on getting me before, and now she wants nothing to do with me? Something isn't adding up here. I know it's a stupid and reckless thing to do, but I can't help but chase after her. If I go to get Sayaka and Hikari, she might be gone by then. It's hard to keep up with her as the wave of students crash against me. Everyone and their friends have to get their lunch, but I just about managed to catch a glimpse of her heading for the staircase. Yuzuki, wait! She pays me no mind and continues to ascend the stairs. Why am I following her? Don't know what I can possibly get out of this, beyond an early demise. Yet I still insist on hiking up the stairs after her. She seems so different. Maybe I'm just secretly hoping that there's more to her than the initial crazed monster that confronted us 2 times before. Something that will help me make sense of this mess. I reach the top floor, breathless after climbing the stairs 2 steps at a time. I peer out into a corridor to try and see where she might have gone to, but there's nothing. I'm sure I wasn't that far behind though. So where did she disappear to? I mean, this is where the stairs end. Unless... would she really be out there? In this weather? I wait for the staircase again and go up a short flight of stairs leading to the rooftop. The rain sounds more violent than ever outside. I can't possibly imagine someone willingly wanting to be out there. But I have to check, just to be sure. I fight against the raging winds and hear the door open. Yuzuki? There she is. Wow! You have to do the see-through top. There she is, standing by the fence, gazing out over the town with her hand idly gripping the mesh. Already the rain has drenched her completely, her soaked uniform clinging to her skin. She's completely unbothered by it though, as if she doesn't feel the rain at all. I've only been out here for a second, I can already feel the urge to sneeze. Already feel the urge to sneeze creep up as the chilling rain makes short work of me. She just ignores me, her amber eyes vacant. At the very least, she doesn't seem hostile at the moment. Right now, I think the rain has a more likely chance of killing me than she does. I take a step towards her, my foot splashing into a sizable puddle. What do you want? She responds bluntly. I may as well be talking to a completely different person than the girl that went after my life. I think carefully before opening my mouth. While things are peaceful right now, it might take saying only one wrong thing to set her off. But I can't be too reserved. I want answers. After hesitating for a moment, my voice initially coming out in a croak, I finally confront her. Why are you so set on killing me? I don't understand any of this. What I mean is, why me? She tenses up for a moment at the sound of my voice. I fear I might have said the wrong thing already, but she gradually relaxes again. I'm surprised you even noticed me at all today. Tell me, Kenta, how long is it we've been in the same class together? What? Has she really been in the same class as me? I'm sure I would have pieced together things a lot sooner if that were the case. Yuzuki lets out a bitter laugh. Didn't even realise, did you? I'm not sure I may as well be a ghost. Do you know what it feels like to be completely invisible? When no one will even so much as glance my way? Her grip tightens on the fence, the wires sinking into her flesh. What is she talking about? Did I ever be picked as a partner for projects? Did I ever be asked to sit with someone for lunch? Did I ever be ignored by the teacher in class? They all might seem like petty small things, but over the years they add up, and slowly the hate began to set in. People are selfish, rude, arrogant, and you're probably just thinking, why don't you make the effort to make friends yourself? I guess that thought did come to mind. All I can do is stand and listen as she continues, ignoring the urge to shiver. Do you think I haven't tried? I tried so hard to fit in, to be social, to talk to people. But after a certain point, the social circles are set and become impassable walls for those looking to join. My cheerful greetings were met with complete indifference. My attempts to talk with classmates were met with painful stares. And then it's back home to sit in a dark, lonely home before I have to force myself to come back to school. A place teeming with people, yet it's here I feel the most lonely. Was it too much to ask for a friend? Someone I could talk to, confide in, and have fun with? Just like they do in the TV shows. Is that really so much? So she's just lonely? But why are you... She cuts me off and she suddenly spins to meet me eye to eye. The vacant stare is gone, and in its place, one of hate. Aimed directly at me. But don't feel sorry for me. None of that matters anymore. Not after tomorrow. Everything will change. Tomorrow? As I ask her, a searing heat surges through my skull and forces a wince out of me. Yuzuki smirks at my pain. You can feel it, can't you? She's so close to being free now. With every passing day, her power grows. What are you talking about? Who's going to be free? Oh, so they haven't told you. Interesting. I wonder why they're so intent on keeping it a secret. Regardless, everything will make sense tomorrow. I'll finally get what I want, and she'll finally get what she wants. Yuzuki drifts past me as I struggle to keep upright, the headache refusing to die down. Goodbye for now. The next time we meet will be the last. Wait, Yuzuki, what are you? It's too late. She's gone. I'm left alone on the rooftop in the pouring rain. I wanted to try and get to the bottom of things, but if anything, I think I'm even more confused now. Just gonna click, turn on my lamp. It's getting dark in my bedroom. Achoo! Okay, I should get back inside now. Soaked to the bone, I squelched into the classroom. I didn't see Yuzuki on the way down, and she doesn't appear to be here either. So I have no idea where she might have vanished to. So I've lost her, and I'm probably going to succumb to pneumonia. Great. Wah! Kenta! What on earth happened? Oh, I guess Sayaka came to check up on me since I was taking too long to get to the cafeteria. I turned to meet her with a faint smile, my hair dripping wet. If I tell her Yuzuki's here, or that I went to confront her on my own, she might worry needlessly, so I'll keep it a secret for now. It's nothing, don't worry. Nothing? Kenta, you're completely drenched. What were you doing? I had to go out to get something, but was in too much of a rush to remember my umbrella. I'll be fine, really. Achoo! Okay, the sneeze isn't really doing me any favours. Come on, let's go get you all dried off. You're going to catch a cold at this rate. And Hikaru will flip if she sees you like this. Ah, true. I'm lucky it was Sayaka that found me first. I offer no resistance as Sayaka takes me by the wrist and guides me out of the classroom. She doesn't question me any further on the subject either, of which I'm thankful for. Almost dying in the red outside, the rest of the school day goes by without much more happening. I catch no further sign of Yuzuki, though my headache lingers. I try to piece together everything Yuzuki has said. From what I can understand, she's doing this all because she wants friends? It doesn't make any sense, and I burp. How she ended up the way she is to begin with? And who is this she Yuzuki kept referring to? Someone that is somehow linked to my headaches, and by extension I can only assume she's the causes of the monsters and everything else that has been going weird lately in my life. Yuzuki also implied that Sayaka and Hikari know more than they're letting on, which I could tell already, but not to this extent. I want to question them all about this, but I'm sure I'll be met with the same silence. Ah! Why is everyone so damn secretive? I feel like I'm the only person in the world left out of the loop right now. I keep to my thoughts of the wet journey home, and before long I find myself in my room, gazing listlessly at the ceiling. The rain gradually dies down as the evening settles in. Things are finally calm. But for how long? Yuzuki's words are still repeating in my muddled mind. Something is going to happen tomorrow. Something bad. I have no idea what. I glimpse out my window. Usual tent is there. I'll be a little more wet than usual. I feel sorry for them having to camp out there in this sort of weather. Those two girls. They got to know everything that I'm struggling to understand here. It's not fair that even though this entire situation supposedly revolves around me, I somehow know the least. I don't know if they're doing it to protect me or what, but I'm beginning to feel like it's too late for that. I continue to stare at the tents. It's not that late, so they might still be awake. ... Okay, yeah. I decided I'm going to go down there and demand they explain everything to me. I have to make a stand and be assertive. No more secrets. No more games. I refuse to leave them alone until they tell me all I need to know. I'll leave them no choice. Seating myself, I slip on my shoes and sneak out into the garden. Yep, this is happening. I'm finally going to learn everything. I approach the tent, its entrance securely zipped, but that won't stop me. I know how these things work. I grab hold of the zip. No hesitating here. I'll give them no time to stop me. And then in one swift motion, I exit the tent's door. Okay, no more secrets. I want answers and I want them... Yep, they're naked. Kya! Kenta! What the hell are you doing? Oh no. I made my mistake here. Apparently past experiences has taught me nothing. My jaw drops and I find myself unable to put together any form of reply to the sight before me. Upon opening the tent, I'm greeted by the pair of them undressing in a space that looks far bigger on the inside than it does from the outside. A dizzying fragrance drifts forth from the tent and stirs my senses, rendering me more dazed than I already was before. My eyes are torn between the pair, unsure where to settle as they flit between them. Yep. They're both so, pleasing to the eyes. While both of them are clearly embarrassed, Sayaka only seems surprised about the whole ordeal. But I can see Hikari practically shaking with what I can only assume is rage. This isn't fair. How was I supposed to know? You do this stuff on purpose, I swear. Kenta! Hikari barks, scrambling for something within their oddly spacious tent to cover herself with. Right, sorry, I was just... The right thing to do here would be to zip the tent back up and to wait for them to get dressed, but all I can do is gawk, possibly making the situation much worse than it should be. Curse my natural instincts. I can't help but look. It's what I'm programmed to do. Just what? Being a pervert? Because I can clearly see that. Oh God, I hope none of the neighbours can hear this. You got me all wrong, I just wanted to... She cuts me off, naturally. Of course I was never going to be allowed to explain myself. That's just not how it works with these girls. No more excuses. I let you off last time, but now... The blanket covering most of her bare body, Hikari marches towards me with a scary expression, all the while Sayaka stands by. Maybe we should hear him out? I'm sure he wouldn't just barge in here without a good reason. Oh, he had a good reason, alright. A perverted one. No, Hikari, listen to her, I really do. She cracks her fist. Have mercy! Her fist flies, and I soon see stars as I'm left flat on my back and gazing skyward within my garden. I'm left sprawled out for a good moment before Sayaka and Hikari approach me, now fully dressed. Why does everything have to be so difficult? After explaining how I met Yuzuki the other day, and what she had told me, it seems I'm finally convinced them to explain things. I led into my room so we could more comfortably explain things. Blah. The tent was an option, but I have bad memories of that place now. Sayaka plops down onto my bed and excitedly looks about the room, while Hikari stands by the door still angry about before. I said I was sorry. So this is your room, huh? It's nice to finally be able to see it from the inside. I was spying on it all this time. I'll pretend I didn't hear that. It's surprisingly neat. Okay, so, you guys finally going to tell me what the heck is going on? I wonder what sort of things Kenta has saved on his computer. Sayaka reaches over and prods at my laptop. Guys, can we focus, please? Huh? Oh, right, yeah. Thank you. Sayaka sits up straight and takes on a serious expression. One that I wasn't even sure she was capable of. We really were going to tell you, Kenta. It wasn't something we wanted to keep a secret. We just thought we could handle things on our own before letting you in on it all. But as you've heard from that Yuzuki person, time really is running short now. Which, by the way, I still can't believe you didn't tell us. Tell us about up until now. Whatever. Do you realise how much danger you put yourself in when you went to face her alone? Hikari cuts in and stomps her way across to join Sayaka, fire in her eyes. See, this is why I didn't tell her anything. I know it was stupid, but it was the only way I could learn anything since you guys weren't being very helpful. That's... She fell silent. Guess I got her there. It's a good point, Hikari. Don't side with him. You're supposed to be my partner. Yeah. So, all I hear is how time is running short. But why? What exactly will happen tomorrow? The start of something really bad. What though? Enough with the cryptic stuff. Don't yell at me, Kenta. Sheesh. Calm down, I was just getting to that. I may have lost it a little there. I pulled back from her and quiet down. Tell me, Kenta, what do you know about your bloodline? Your ancestors? I don't really... Wait, why is this important? Your blood is the most important thing here. It's why we're even bothering to protect you. Hikari, don't be mean. But your blood is why we were sent. If it fell into the wrong hands, namely Izuki's, we'd all be in a lot of trouble. Why my blood? What's so special about mine? It might be a little hard to believe, but you're the descendant of a long-running line of mages, people with magical abilities. Come again? Or enough did they dig that, what? Where on earth did they dig that up? What? What? Where? I can't even read that properly. Where on earth did they dig that up? No wonder I had trouble reading that. I think if they came to me with that on the first day we met, I would have labelled them as crazy. But after all I've seen, it's a bit easier to believe. How much more does it need to be spelled out for you? You have mage blood. Shouting into my ear doesn't really help me process it better, you know. Why would I know something like this? It seems pretty important. Well, the world in general doesn't really know about the existence of magic anymore. It's sort of just something that got lost in the history books as technology technology slowly began to take over. So, you know, most families with magic in their blood at this point don't even know about it. It's just something that lies dormant now. Okay, so if a lot of people have this magic blood, what makes mine so special? More special than theirs, anyway. I'm glad you asked. Sayaka hops to her feet from the bed, taking me by surprise. This girl can't sit still for more than a minute, I swear. I won't bore you with all the details, here's the story in short. She clears her throat as if this were a school presentation she had been practicing for. Hundreds of years ago, back when magic was still prevalent in the world, there existed a mage with tremendous power. So much power, in fact, that she was pretty much the mage at the time. Everyone looked up to her, and she was an inspiration to all. But you know what happens to people with all the magic, with all the power in the world, right? She frowns at us outside. They always want more power. It changes people, corrupts them. So she soon wanted dominion over everything, over everyone, even. All the respect that people once had for her turned to fear. And she became a blight on the land. Everywhere she went, darkness followed. Oops, I just realised. Sorry. I have like a book thing that like cuts off. I have like a fan that's on top of my laptop, and I try to use like a book to cut off like a direct line of sight between the fan and the microphone that's really not that far away from it. And I realised I didn't put the book there, so for the last hour and a half, well, hour and 35 minutes, you probably might have been able to hear the winding of my fan a lot louder than usual. Sorry about that. Anyway, right, everyone went to spread the land as she went about her conquest. I clicked. This is getting pretty lengthy. Why do I feel like I know this person she's talking about? Are you still with me, Kenta? She leans forward and raises her eyebrows without a yawn. Huh? Yeah, totally. I think. But what does this person have to do with me? I'm getting there. Gosh. Basically, you're related to the person that had the courage to stand up to this Dark Queen and put her in her place. Hikari, why did you have to spoil things? Because if you tell the whole story, you're going to be here until the sun rises. And time is of the essence here. No, I was really getting into it there and everything. Thanks, Hikari. I appreciate it. Huh. So, what? My ancestors killed this evil queen person? If he did, we wouldn't be here having this conversation right now. No, with all the power she had, killing her was an impossibility. I wouldn't go as far as to say she was immortal, but I'm sure it's pretty close. The best he could do was seal her, using the most powerful sealing magic he could muster, which leads us back to that magical old blood pumping around inside you, Kenta. Essentially, he tied his fate with hers when locking her away. A seal so powerful that it will only unlock when one strict condition is met. And what condition is that? I think you should know by now. Something to do with my blood, right? Bingo! The seal will only truly unlock if it comes into contact with the blood of the one who sealed her away, or by extension, any of his descendants. Well, actually, not just any descendants. It has to be the one who has latent magical power residing within them. So that means your dad is safe, and that the shadows have no interest in him. He does have some magic in his blood, but it's not really enough to realise any abilities. Huh, that's pretty convenient. Sakura stretches and lets out a tiny yawn. Must have been exhausting for it to focus on one subject for so long, but I think things are finally starting to make sense. So, are you following so far? Yeah, I think. Basically, my blood is the key to unlocking something terrible. Pretty much. But then, if it's connected to my blood, why are we running out of time? The seal will thankfully never break unless your blood is spilled, but it's been a long time since she's been imprisoned, meaning that the seal is weakening in its effectiveness with each passing day, and ever so slowly her influence has been creeping into the world. Kenta, your head aches. I see. So she's almost calling out to me in a sense. It's why the monsters have been as organised as they have, and why that girl, Yuzuki. She instilled whatever power she could muster into that girl and is using her as a puppet until she's finally free herself. I'm not sure what lie she must have fed to that girl in order to get her to obey, but she's infected her mind. And given the current rate that her vileness has been seeping from her prison, tomorrow will be when she achieves even more influence on the world. The monsters will become more rampant than before. Yuzuki will become more powerful too. Basically, our job will become even more difficult than it already is. That's bad, huh? Very. Which brings us to our next order of business. When we first assigned to watch over you, all we had to do was take care of a stray shadow or two if they suddenly decided to act on instinct. And that was easy enough. You had no idea those things even existed, and were able to keep hidden and watch from afar. But then, things started to go wrong. When you saw that shadow, it really took both the carrier and I by surprise. It was like it was on a mission, completely slipped past our super vigilant watch. If I recall, wasn't that the day you insisted on getting a sandwich? No, we were ever vigilant. Huh. I guess I was even luckier than I thought that they had managed to save me back then. So anyway, once we were forced to show ourselves to you, it was clear that something wasn't right. At all. And that was only even more obvious when Yuzuki assaulted us, wielding a power unlike anything we'd seen before. We've been looking into it when we have the free time, which is rarely ever when tasked with having to watch after you. Well, excuse me for existing. And it quickly became apparent that things weren't going to solve themselves once we learned that the seal in place has been slowly weakening. We need to reinforce her prison, strengthen it so that her influence can't affect the outside world anymore. Only if it were that easy. We could have done it ourselves without bothering you. Saka pulls a complicated expression. Don't think I'm going to like what she has to say next. Kenta, we need your help. Me? How the heck am I supposed to help? You guys are the ones with all the fancy powers. It's not exactly ideal that we have to rely on you, I know, but we have no choice. We're out of time to search for alternative means. Basically, since the seal was created by someone in your bloodline and linked directly to them, it can only be strengthened by someone bearing the same blood. I mean, technically we could break the seal that's there and trap her in a new one, but I don't think we'd last long enough to do that. So in other words, I'm really the only solution here. I'm not sure how to take this. Don't know the first thing about this magic business though. Are we even capable of doing such a thing? Seki takes a moment to ponder things, a finger held to her chin as her eyes ran over me. Do you remember the night when Hikaru was having fun with that tentacle shadow? I was not having fun. I guess so, but what does that have to do with anything? You used to carry sword, didn't you? Yeah. And I burped, but I don't. Kenta, you must have noticed yourself how light that's... I thought there was 3 T's then. How light that sword was despite its size, right? It's a blade infused with magic that connects with the wielder to deal swift and powerful blows with ease. So infused in fact that if someone not capable of controlling that amount of magic were to attempt to wield it, they'd go boom! The magic would be too much for them to handle. But boom? Well, maybe not explode, but at the very least it'd bring about a messy end. And given that you're still standing after swinging that thing around, it's safe to say you have the potential in you. Yikes. I can't believe that there was the possibility of exploding from picking up her sword. What I did back then was even more reckless than I realised. So, if you can handle that sword, I think a little sealing magic should be no problem. But then it also means we have to go to where she's sealed, taking on the one thing she's been seeking for all these years. It'll be reckless, and one mistake will mean we could put the world in danger. No pressure then, huh? I try my best to keep things light-hearted and force out an awkward laugh, but it's difficult after hearing all this. To think that somehow I'm both the key to unlocking this woman from her prison, and the only thing that can put her away for good. Tomorrow's our last chance to stop this before it spirals out of control. I think I'm going to have to skip a day of school, Kenta. Huh. Wonder if out saving the world is a valid enough excuse to miss a day of school. That is, if you choose to help us. I'll understand if you don't feel up to it. Maybe we can find another way? But there isn't another way, is there? That's the whole reason you're telling me all this. I heave out a sigh and give my guardians a look over. They've done so much for me this past week, and even more than I realised behind the scenes. If anything, I owe them this. I swallow hard. I can feel my hands begin to tremble. I might die if I go out with them, but then if we leave it, things will only get worse. So, I guess I have no choice here, do I? I'll help with the sealing business, if you think I can manage it. You will? Sayaka looks ecstatic as she claps her hands together. Was she not expecting me to help? Hikaru looks equally surprised. Geez, a little faith goes a long way, guys. It's the least I can do after you guys have been risking your lives for me every day. If I finally have a way to help, then I'm not going to waste that chance. Kenta, you know, you almost sounded cool there. Almost. I think we need to work on your heroic dialogue. Well, that'll have to come later. We have lots to cover if we're going to seal away this Dark Queen, so pay attention. And just when I thought the night could get any longer, yet another lecture begins.